Yeah, you got it. online can't shut mine down, that's the problem.
No, I know. You can't get on, right?
Technical difficulties.
And Emerald just popped up.
Right, two just popped up. Great. It's resolving.
But we could see them.
Well,
No, they don't see. No, there was a minute. What's going?
Maybe the microphone? Maybe that particular microphone?
they
Maybe
can
it's
hear
my,
now.
maybe it's my device.
They can hear now,
I can hear
Here
you.
now.
It's resolving.
Get it?
because we can also see
Okay.
video now. WebEx.
Everybody online, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Sorry for the delay on that. We don't know why we had a hiccup. It's working out, great.
Okay.
Listen, they couldn't hear her. Should restart.
We need to start with Mr. Press.
Start her conference call.
Okay, so do over.
Roll over.
Hey, Janice, could you make sure the microphone's by her mouth so that it, yeah, thank you.
You can hear. They can.
Okay, starting over, ready?
Go ahead.
The board is facing an information onslaught, time-sensitive discussion and votes on 2 of the 3 parts of City of Yes. The Bronx Metro North rezonings, the board's public hearing on the mayor's preliminary budget, new licensed dispensary applications on top of the usual liquor licenses, and random unanticipated developments like a new schedule for the Pelham Parkway Mall's reconstruction that popped up on an obscure section of the Parks Department website. It's a lot. We all recognize the difficulty of voting on momentous issues after maybe just 1 committee meeting and 15 minutes of full board discussion. But it does not give me confidence when, for example, members comment sounding as if they don't know the difference between licensed dispensaries and illegal smoke shops, or the conditions OCM sets on dispensaries like distancing. On City of Yes, so much is in the details, which are posted, or maybe buried is a better word, on the
Hey, sorry.
on the city planning website. So much to keep track of. The City Planning Commission hearing on the economic opportunity portion tomorrow during the workday. The borough president's 5-page single-spaced response, overall in favor, but with many of the same valid concerns and questions board members have raised. Instead of just exclaiming City of No on social media, it would help if board members were able to agree on some basic facts, like whether City of Yes proposals are rezonings or amendments to aspects of existing zoning. And whether community boards will still have a role in ULURPs. Yes, you will. Even in the City of Yes processes like corner stores in residential areas or on specific NYCHA campuses and new kinds of manufacturing zoning. None of these issues are easy to grapple with. I'm glad all is in place to start right away on City of Yes housing. Good energy to everyone for these next few months.
Thank you, Diana. All right, do over.
Okay, this is for those members at home, as well as you people here can hear me again. Congratulate Miss Wendy, the City of Yes Chair Wendy Betts and Co-Chair Edward Perez on a fantastic job they did last night on the City of Yes Committee meeting. They have come up with a resolution. Unfortunately, it is not on the agenda because it came in late. But I will say that I hope that the board will vote the way the committee has suggested. And as far as the previous speaker, who said about the City of Yes housing opportunity, the City Planning Commission, next Tuesday, January 30th, is already starting their info sessions. And Wednesday, it'll end on April 17th, their last of 4 info sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Okay, next. Okay, I'm just checking, is Danielle Flores? Is he online?
I'm working on that, so we'll come back to him if we have to.
Okay. Okay, next up is Ronald Colangelo.
I volunteered,
I know.
like I do all the time. Here, come on.
Don't touch it. Hello?
Hi.
How you doing? So December 19th, you can think what you want. I know what happened. Got here at 5 o'clock, couldn't get in. Somebody called at 3:30 and canceled the meeting. Had to be somebody that has a little pull. Secondly, you can say what you want as a First Amendment right. That's okay. But then you have to pay the consequences for what you say. You know, problems happen. And then, you know, you want to say, oh, I said that there, but not here. So you wear that hat there, then you put on this hat. And then you didn't say that then. Oh, but then you go back to the other place, you put this hat back on. So then, you know, which hat are you wearing? It could be either hat, but it's still coming out of one mouth. Now, 1900 Seminole. I'd like to say that on December 7th, I got a phone call from Bob Nolan. And he said to me, you know, I felt real bad that I didn't really help you with that Just Homes project. I said, Mr. Nolan, I understand. I know where your bread is buttered. And he said, Ronnie, listen, you're not going to be buttering my bread too much longer. I said, oh, you're retiring? And he said, in a way. I didn't know anything. And he filled me in on a lot of people that were working behind the scenes. And he said, they're working behind the scenes, but they're not working for you, Ronnie. They're working for themselves and other people on the HHC trying to get this through. And again, there was a memo sent out by them. I heard the community board got it. They put it up. So what does that mean? They're about ready to pop in? Don't hear nothing from nobody. Okay, I'm done. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
So, if the board's okay with me responding to that?
Sure.
December 19th, Harry can tell you, well, he didn't physically see me, but this is what I told Veronica and certain members who yeah, I will. Thank you. I said, there's a good chance I will show up here December 19th and I'll be waiting outside the door to try to get in. I have an email that I wasn't even sure we'd even be let in. And so December 19th, I waited, somebody came out, I got through this first door, couldn't get through the second door. I called somebody I know who works here, who happens to be a board member. What should I do? I can't even get in. I want to see about this setup because our recording company could not come that night. I mean, there's a multitude of reasons, all right? We were planning on having that meeting that night. We did not cancel until I called Bernadette around 5 o'clock. I could not get in.
Yeah,
You can say what you want. If you have evidence, otherwise, I'd love to see it. I would love to see it.
I have,
Okay, excuse me. We don't want to have to have you escorted out, please.
This is not a back and forth. You spoke.
who's responding?
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to respond,
No, not having that tonight. Go ahead, speak.
You go, Janice.
I know, but our bylaws allow if he wants,
Having that tonight.
our bylaws allow if he wants to respond, he can. But
You finish speaking.
yes, after I finish speaking. Thank you. Yes, correct, right? I can go on if I need to. No, I don't think so. I don't need to, do I?
Records.
Okay, let's move on then. All right.
Who's next?
Okay, next. Okay, Roxanne Delgado. You have the phone records. And emails.
I got here's some I said it don't. May I have a 30-second warning, please? I was here in regards to 7-Eleven Leidig, but since the applicants are not here, I won't address it. But I'd like to request the board to reconsider giving the 36, to eliminate the 36-hour requirement for online participants, because I actually had lots of delays on the train this evening. Train was not running due to sick passenger. So it held me up really late, and then I didn't eat anything since this afternoon, so I'm very exhausted. And I know people who have special needs who cannot always attend, like my person that lives in Palm Park, he could not attend because he had a very bad flu, so he's probably online right now. But because of the requirement, he's not able to speak because he was planning to be here in person as well regarding 7-Eleven Leidig. So I would like you to reconsider, not just for my benefit, but for the community benefit, because many people do have special needs. And like someone said prior, that they had children to care for, family members to care for. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roxanne. Okay, Miguel Dyer.
Hello, everyone. You guys know what this is going to be. Um, So I ran through this in my head a million times, and I was thinking that I should have like prepared remarks. And then I was like, you know what, whatever, wing it. I do want to absolutely thank every single person on this board, because this experience of me being on the board has been amazing, amazing. And I mean everyone. Honestly, community, it means something. It means something. Okay? And I came onto this board to affect change. That was my stated purpose. I got in a class with several people that the board started to look like the community that we serve. Now we have fantastic new members that we actually look like the community that we serve. And that makes me happy. That does make me happy. So thank you again, everyone on this side of the table too. Thank you so much. I have had such a good experience. But again, change is scary. Change is something that you don't see coming. Change is sometimes messy. Like a very good friend of mine on the board said, I'd like to go over if that's okay. Vern, maybe another minute,
I mean,
if I could.
so, well,
60 seconds.
it's up to you, it's up to the chair of the bylaws. I mean, can we go through your time first? I mean, it's not done yet, right?
No, it's not.
Yes, one more minute.
Thank you. So now that we have, again, a good friend of mine said that democracy is messy. And I would like for this board, now that I am no longer a part of it, I will be part of the community. You will see me here. I'm just going to be on the other side of the table. However, I am proud of what I did on the board to make it more democratic, more transparent, more accountable to the people. And I hope and pray the only thing that you can count on in the world is God and change. So please go forward knowing that change is happening, but it's not the scariest thing in the world. And we have to work together to make everything as good for the community that we represent. I'm sorry, you now represent, but I will be on this side. Thank you so incredibly much. This experience for me was amazing, and I will always treasure it. Have a great night.
Thank you, Miguel. Okay. We have the new city council person here. Christy, she's online. And she would just like to have a few moments to speak to everybody. Councilmember Christy Momerato.
So just a reminder that according to our bylaws, we do give elected officials up to 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes, unless I guess the board decides otherwise. I don't think Spectre would take that long, but just as a courtesy, just remind everybody. And then the elected reps, we give 2 minutes. We give 2 minutes, and when we have your principal here, we don't typically let your rep speak afterwards, unless there's something that really needs to be said, but generally speaking, the principal is good enough.
Okay, Christy?
Can you hear us? Oh, okay, so I gotta, so because of our technical issues, I had to mute everybody. What? No, okay, CM. Okay. So if you're going to speak and you're a board member, please raise your hand. All right. Hold on.
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for taking time away from your families and a time away from your busy everyday lives to be here and serve on this board. I really appreciate that, and I look forward to working with everybody over the next 2 years. We have a lot of changes coming to our district, and I want you to voice your opinion. As a community, I expect people to sign up, speak, voice their opinion. It's their amendment right, and it's very important. And I like to hear some feedback from the board members as well. So I'm looking forward to working together, and thank you for your time. And I'm sorry that I couldn't be there tonight. I had childcare issues. I'm sure some of you guys know, unfortunately, how that goes.
Thank you, Councilmember Marmorato, and welcome and success in your future years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She can provide her contact information for her office.
Christy, can you provide your contact information, et cetera? Oh, you have to unmute.
Mark, do you got it, or do you want me to?
Oh,
Okay.
Christy.
All right. So my office number, we kept the same office. We're at 3040 East Tremont Avenue. For the time being, the phone number is going to remain the same. It's 718-931-1721. And our district email is district13@council.nyc.gov. And I want the emails. Please contact my office. I want your feedback about what is happening around us. Remember, I'm here because we felt like we didn't have a say, and I want to hear what everybody has to say.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we're onto the chair report. Okay, January is a time for reflection and setting intentions for the year ahead. Some of the January celebrations, and only some, okay, are for January 1st in the month, it's National Blood Donor Month and Poverty Awareness. For January 6th, we had Three Kings Day and the Epiphany. For January 15th, we had Martin Luther King Jr. Day, where there were a lot of community cleanups, which were wonderful. And on January 27th is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. And there's a whole list of many more. So I just took a few. All you have to do is, the application, it's just for everybody's awareness. Applications are now live on the Borough President's Office for community board membership. So please, if there's anybody interested for your applications, they are live as of, I think, on yesterday or Friday. It was yesterday. Okay. Everybody should be aware, and especially as Diana Finch had said, there's a lot of information going on right now, all at the same time. Please take advantage of our Bronx Community Board 11 YouTube channel. That is such a bonus that we have, that if we can't be at every single meeting, we can review issues and we can review it at our leisure. So it's important to make use of this tool. Okay, and if you don't know where it is, you can email, we can send it to you, but it is on the Bronx Community Board 11 website. You go to the meetings page, and then under the meetings page, there is a button for minutes. When you go to the minutes, there is a link right there. Next, on December 7th, the Bronx Community Board 11 Housing and Land Use had a public hearing right here at Lubin Hall. With city planning, it was presenting the proposals and answering questions. It was extremely informative. That is also, if I'm correct, that is also have been recorded. A committee was formed, and we met on January 10th and January 22nd. And if I am correct, there's supposed to be a full board vote tonight, okay? And there will be information on the resolution. The upcoming City of Yes for Housing, their public events, as Robert Press had said. First one is going to be January 30th, focus on universal affordability preferences framework. On February 27th, it's going to be focused on diverse housing types. On March 27th, the focus will be on missing middle housing types. And on April 27th, the City of ES for housing opportunity proposal. Yes, this is a lot of information, and if you're interested, please mark it on your calendars, make it a point to be connected in there, and go back and check when they have it after the actual info session. It will probably be somewhere on the video will be on the website. Next, on January 22nd, there was a press release from the Department of City Planning. The City Planning Commission kicks off public review of the Bronx Metro North Station Area Plan. This certification begins the 7-month Uniform Land Use Review Procedure, other known as ULURP, which includes recommendations from Community Board 9, Community Board 10, Community Board 11, and the Borough President's Office, followed by votes from the City Planning Commission, and then final, the City Planning. So for everybody here, there's a lot going on. We need your input. We need you to tell people that this is stuff they need to be informed about. They need to be connected with. And thank you. And everybody have a wonderful 2024. We have a lot going on. Let's stay connected. Thank you. Next is the Treasurer's Report.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. For the Treasury's report, I'm waiting for one last piece of information to be provided to me so I could finalize the report. Once that's provided to me, which I'm hoping will be by tomorrow, we'll get that uploaded. And if anybody has any questions, you can reach out to me. You guys have my phone number or my email, so whichever way is easier. In the November full board meeting, as you all remember, there was a vote or motion that passed to begin the proceedings for removal of Chair Bernadette Ferrara and Vice Chair Al D'Angelo from their executive positions. It fell upon me to put together a committee to start that process and to do the investigation into everything. The committee has finally been formed. I finally got everyone and confirmed with them. The committee is going to be Eliza Rodriguez, Rich Reynoso, Hazel Mura, Jeanette Wilson, and Joe Thompson. Okay, it took me a while to be able to get what I would believe would be the best equal committee together of people that would sit down and actually listen to each other and have thoughtful conversations and investigate together, because that was very important to me. This is a very daunting responsibility for the committee, and I wanted people who would be able to sit down and have discussions. So I apologize for the length it took me to actually put this committee together, but I needed to put real thought into it before, and I wanted people to be able to say no without having other people know that they were asked, because I didn't want them to have that pressure. So we got the committee together. So they are going to put together their first meeting, and once that's done, we'll get it on the calendar. Okay, it's going to be a public meeting because it's a committee meeting, so everyone's welcome to attend, even the public. But as soon as it's on the calendar, you guys will know. So thank you for your patience, and we'll see what happens from there. Sure, Eliza Rodriguez, Rich Reynoso, Jeanette Wilson, Hazel Mura, and Joe Thompson. Okay, and that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not been published on the website yet. As you know, we've been having some website issues. This is a global-wide city issue for anybody who doesn't have a private land, or for anybody who has a private landlord, as our office does.
We tentatively have named the committee the investigative committee because we didn't want anything that sounded too harsh, so like the removal committee or anything like that. Until the first meeting, if anybody has any suggestions on any other names for the committee, we're open to it. If not, upon the first meeting, then it'll be called the investigative committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. Okay, next is the Secretary's report.
Mike, so hold on. I'll do it. Here, take this. All right, I'll just hold it, whatever. Okay. No.
We need it for the recording.
Posterity.
Oh, good?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Veronica, that was a very, very hard task, and I think you did a great job. But just for information's sake, what was the criteria picking the people for the committee?
I wanted people that, like I said, that I knew would be able to sit down and be even tempered, that had the time to actually sit down to review this matter, because there's going to be information put before them, and it's not something that should be taken lightly. So I want people that actually had the time to do it. I know that there were different sides to everything, so I tried to pick from people from both sides, so that way it would be equal. It wouldn't be just all one-sided. I wanted people to sit down and actually be able to discuss each side, hear from everybody's opportunity, everybody's point of view. Also, I did not pick anyone who was personally involved in the matter or who had issues that they brought forth, because again, I wanted it to be fair, and I wanted people to be able to sit down and digest what's going on and be able to come to a reasonable conclusion.
Be a vote by these 5 people at the end? to
My
determine-
understanding is that it will be brought to the committee. The committee will review it. They will make a report to the full board. And then from there, I believe the full board makes a final decision on what's to happen. Now, there's a resolution that was sent out that was that put together by the people that brought forth the allegations, and only for Bernadette so far, as far as I know. There hasn't been anything sent for Al yet. Bernadette has 30 days from the day she received it to formulate a response, whether in writing or in person. She could do that in front of the committee or in front of the full board. That option is up to her. So once she decides and when she's ready to do it, then we'll hear from her side of things.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, next we have the secretary's report. Hazel is not, is Hazel online?
Okay, well, we do have 2 sets of minutes that were published on our website, October and November. I don't know if everybody got a chance to review them. If you want me to share the screen, I could always bring them up that way too. But ideally, by now, everybody should have reviewed those minutes. So somebody want to make a motion regarding those? So, no, so Rich makes a motion, seconded by Malcolm.
Correct.
All right, it's on tape. Open for discussion. So unless there's no discussion, we'll call a vote. You discussion? Or vote? Oh, okay.
Is
So,
there any
The
opposition?
way we do it, the easiest way we've learned to do this since the pandemic, is there anyone against or abstaining? Can you please turn that down just a little bit, Ed? Anyone against or abstaining? If not, it's unanimous. Anybody online, if you need to, remember, raise your hand. Okay? You need to say something? Yeah, don't do that, all right? All right. So if that concludes the secretary's report, I guess we'll go to my report.
Yes,
I had every intent on saying nothing tonight, just so we could actually move along, get done before the recording company closes down. But unfortunately, sometime before I left, I happened to look into the garbage can and guess what I found? So if you happen to brought this to the office and threw it in the garbage can and did not recycle it, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to look through the camera and find out who did it, because we can do that if I really have to, want to. All right? I don't have to. You can just shame. We recycle. If you don't know where to put the bottle, put it in the sink in the kitchen. Okay? Or ask somebody. So other than that, let's move on. If you have questions for me, you can ask them now, but ideally, let's speak after the meeting. Let's try to get through this first, because we do have motions that we've been waiting to vote on since December 19th. Yeah, so as far as I recall, Rich, you made a motion regarding both sets of minutes. Malcolm second, both sets of minutes. There was no questions, debating about both sets of minutes, unanimously were approved.
Okay, motion passes.
All right,
Okay,
Al is deferring to Veronica. He has to attend to something right now. So,
okay, for leadership,
yes,
okay, so you're on.
For
Veronica,
the leadership committee, we have, it looks like 2 motions. The first motion, that Community Board 11 fund this year's CB 11 holiday party at Adeo's of the Bronx using the Friends of Community Board 11 account. This was already voted in committee, so we don't need a second. Do we have any discussion?
just a point of order is last year's holiday party. This was supposed to be voted on in December.
Okay, so is there any discussion? Okay, any abstentions? Any objections? I think I skipped that. Okay, looks like motion passes unanimously. The second motion, that Community Board 11 have a holiday party every year. Again, that was voted on in committee, so we don't need a second. Is there any discussion? Debbie? Hold on.
No, I go. I need to lose weight. Believe it or not.
Where are we getting the money? Where are we getting the money from?
Well, I think basically what's going to happen is if it can't be funded through Friends of Community Board 11, then it's going to have to be something that the board themselves have to pay for. But that wasn't actually discussed during the motion, if I remember correctly.
It was, provided that we had the funds, but regardless of the funds, we would do out of pocket.
Right.
We have to. If
So if
anyone's
Friends of
interested.
11 cannot fund it, then it'll come out of pocket from the board members.
And it'll be worded as such?
We can, if you want to restate it.
I think it's clear. We have a recording, right? We first go to is always Friends of, and we will, like we did with Juneteenth, was Serena was nice enough to do solicit funds, maybe from our electeds. But otherwise, we would have to do it out of pocket. But first go to is Friends of, right?
Okay. For the past, maybe 10 years, where has the money come from?
Friends of.
So
Hello?
it's come from.
Hello, one at a
Friends-
time, one at a time. Go ahead.
It's come from Friends of CB 11. That's
Okay.
the account. That account is funded or was funded by the carnival that's CB 11 used to put on. We haven't held the carnival for a while, so one of the concerns is that there's nothing funding that account right now. So we're using money from it, but we're not putting any money in it. There was discussions that we should come together and think of something to do it, maybe put together another carnival. So that's something we're working on, but right now, it's not being funded by anything.
Okay, maybe we need to do some fundraising then. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you could pass the microphone to Serena, she might want to remind us about a kind donation we received this past year too.
So before I remind everybody about this $400 donation that we received, and we're talking about the carnival and the funding that we received to support the annual, right? I guess I'm going to call it the annual holiday event. Where was the money going to come from when we received the email invite for this event that was supposed to happen and then was canceled abruptly? And then thank you, Roger, for the $400 donation that you graciously gave us and didn't attend.
Yeah, Roger cannot attend, but he did donate. I don't know if anyone wants to address that or I can.
The
So-
money was going to come from Friends of CB 11.
So I'm confused I'm not confused. I just, so then the money should come from CB 11, Friends of CB 11. Are we past that?
I hope so. I hope so.
Right. Okay, because I thought I heard that we were debating where the money came from. It came from the carnival and the carnival
Well-
was funded from CB 11, so future. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the future's uncertain, right? So always, in the end, Always near.
So I think we've been clear that a decision has been made, correct? We will assume that our first point of reference will be this Friends of CB account. If that's not available, we will try to fundraise in some way, shape, or form. And if that's not available, we will pay out of pocket. I think we're wasting a lot of time on this minutia when we should be moving on to other more important items.
Hold on. If I just may add to that, though, we should fundraise regardless. Because there's only like 8,000 in that account currently.
Yeah, like we said, we had discussed it, and that's something that we're gonna get together and discuss further and get moving.
And thanks to Roger's donation, this is probably the cheapest holiday party we've ever had. Normally it's way more.
Okay, so, that's the discussion. So do we have any objections
We already did that. We voted.
for the second one?
The new motion.
Yeah. No objections? Do we have any abstentions? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Okay, next committee is Economic Development. Veronica?
Talking a lot today. Okay,
So the Sergeant at Arms just wants to remind you, we set 10 minutes for discussion on a particular item, which is way too long in my opinion, but what's new?
okay, so in the interest of time, unless anyone has any objection to it, I'd like to do the first two items as one motion. So we had two liquor license renewals. The first is Lynn's Asian Cuisine located at 1506 Bronxdale Avenue. And the second is Liberty Diner located at 2059 Williamsbridge Road. Again, both were renewal liquor licenses. There were no issues with the 49 precinct. There were no issues from the community regarding either of those locations. So the committee voted to send a letter of no objection to the State Liquor Authority for both locations. Any discussion? Okay, any objections? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. We did have one cannabis license that came up. That was for AM Convenience V Shop located at 2011A Williamsbridge Road. We voted to table that until the next meeting. There were some concerns with some of the information that was provided to us. One of the things was regarding the fact that that location had been visited by the sheriff's office. There was some items that were taken. There were some arrests that were made according to what we've gotten from Assemblyman Vaccaro's office, the information, because they were part of it. So that will come back up in the February meeting. Okay? And I think that's all I have for economic development. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, next committee is Ethics and Disciplinary. Naomi?
What are you calling? Yeah, all right. Sorry. That's Mark Gossett before me.
She's right there, right there.
She should be good.
Can you speak again, Naomi?
Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you this evening? I am the chair of the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. I'm here to report on two motions from my committee meeting. I'm sorry, just two motions. First, on the case 114. This case was the complainant was Ed Perez and the respondent was Bernadette Ferrara. And the motion is that the Community Board 11 institute privacy standards training for all of its members. So I would like to know, should we vote on that now?
You made it in committee, so it's live. So
Oh,
you don't
okay,
need a
so
second. So it's
I don't
open
need
for
a second.
discussion.
Any discussion?
Yeah, we have one member in person raising their hand. 1 second.
Okay.
Just hold it.
Just for clarification reasons, what does privacy standards training means?
Privacy standard training, just on the basics of what should be communicated and what should not be, based as a community board member.
Yeah, hold on, we got another question.
Okay.
Who offers that training?
Who offers it? We would have to find someone to train us, or we would have to do a webinar or something like that.
That's a great question, because as you might recall, we voted for diversity training in September. DCAS has stonewalled me. DCAS is the city agency which is responsible for the training for citywide employees, as well as your anti-sexual harassment training. I did bring this to the attention of the Bronx Borough President's office, so I knew Mr. Augusto is in the meeting, or well, he's physically here now. If you could also follow up on that. I was informed by Community Civic Engagement Commission that DCAS is planning to make the trainings required for employees available to the public. Kind of, if you go to the City Commission on Human Rights, this website, the anti-sexual harassment training is available to anybody that has unrestricted internet access. So in terms of privacy, that's a really good question. I do not know. If you want to add to that, Naomi, because city employees aren't required to do this training yet, to my knowledge.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So we can do a couple of things. The committee can research some avenues to do the training. We can also have a discussion about it, and like as a group, we can do that as well. So it just depends on what avenue we want to go through, but this is what the committee feels that based on the case, what was requested, and we voted on it, and we agreed that there's some type of privacy training or standard that needs to be implemented.
Hey, it's Rich. Would you be opposed, Naomi, to, us passing this motion and then giving you guys a timeline, maybe giving you 6 months to 8 months to figure out who was going to institute or who's going to give proctor this training? That way you don't lose time figuring out who's going to do it. This way you have the idea, the foundation, and then, okay, that way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like a timeline for the committee to report back. Here's who we reached out to, and okay. Sandy, you had a question? No, microphone. People online cannot hear you.
I just wanted to say that you could create your own list of things for privacy. Do it on your own. Like Rick said, you have 6, 7 months to do it. You come up with it, because a lot of things are open to the public. Anybody could go online, find out where you live, where your phone number is. I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is something to think about, to create your own.
Thank you, Sandra. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, and I have emailed people in the past about how you can do your best to scrub some of your information that's publicly available. So you might want to recall that email. If you want me to resend it, I can resend it. But I highly encourage you to explore scrubbing certain information for you or family members from online. So is that the end of discussion? Do you see any? I don't see any other hands raised online or in person. Oral has his hand raised. Oral, yes. Hold on. Okay. I asked you to unmute. So if you unmute yourself, you should be able to.
Okay, great. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so
A little low though.
little low. Okay, how's that? A little better?
Yes, better.
Okay.
Perfect.
So privacy training is very interesting because some of it deals with information technology, which is more, with data and resources that you have in the company with information technology. So privacy training, what you're talking about, is a little bit something you may have to create on your own if it's dealing with board members, their own information. Because privacy training that you can get, that even we have at DDC, we have technology training, privacy with information over the internet. privacy training with your email, with confidential stuff that we may have in the office. So it's a little bit different, I think, that what you're talking about. So you may have to, because I don't know if anyone offers that type of training, because mostly it's more with information technology and
Right.
confidential information in an office.
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. You're probably gonna have to create the standard and then have the board approve what the standard should be. Yeah,
Actually,
that
there
makes
might be
sense.
some type of training for us. I think there's something that new came along. I'll get back to you on that, though.
Okay, so do you want to call a vote on this?
Yeah, we have one more hand up here. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I think if we create a standard or a set of standards, it could be put into the bylaws, and this way every board member can abide by it. And maybe a training, a formal training is not necessary, because we have rules in our bylaws that everyone has to apply, abide by. So it could be as simple as that. By setting
Oh,
setting
okay.
a group of standards and then putting it in the bylaws. Ooh.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that was what was asked as well at the meeting, was for it to be put into the bylaws. So, do we want to vote on this, that we would like this type of training or this type of do you want to amend the motion where we state that we'd like community board 11 to have a standard privacy policy? Would that be okay? Would that be okay with Ed? Because that was his proposal that we voted on.
So, Ed, before you go there, if I may, remember we had in September, we had a long discussion about what type of training we're gonna do for diversity training. So
Right.
before we talk about putting in the bylaws, let's try to actually get some training first. That's just my 2 cents. Try to get something together first. All right, go ahead. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left of this discussion.
Yes, I mean, I'm okay with that. The goal of this is to make sure that there are protections in place for all board members, new, existing, old board members, people on their way out, just to make sure that they have some type of protection where blatantly their address isn't just being used or just blurted out there so that members of the press can grab it and put their deeds online and things like that. Like, I know it's public information, but unless the address was blatantly put out there, somebody wasn't gonna go fishing around for a deed. I wouldn't have to go ahead and take the time to scrub my address out online. Cause like, I really don't care that the deed is online, it's public information. I'm not ignorant to that. Like, I bought a home. That's all I did. And I joined the community board. So I want to make sure that there are protections in place for not just myself, for all members. Because the same way that my address was put out there, your address can be put out there, where somebody can say that, well, you know what? She did it first, and drag you under the bus, right? Instead of taking accountability as a leader. So I want you guys to think about that.
So I would like to make a motion to amend the motion for us to go forward for Community Board 11 to have a privacy standard document that will be later proposed to the bylaws committee.
Hold on, Naomi, the Sergeant Arms would like to say something about regarding amending motions that were voted on in committee.
So you could pull this motion. Oh, yeah, I'm right here. You could pull this motion and just make a new motion.
Okay. Okay, I'm pulling the
Well,
original
you need
motion.
approval of our committee, though. You need to approve your committee because it wasn't just
Yeah.
you who.
So we could vote this motion down and just make a new one.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing. You just vote on the motion or just approve it and then make another motion to follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So,
Right? 'Cause I don't see anyone, is anyone going to object to this or abstain? The way I'm telling you here, I'm not seeing, I just see one person so far. Mostly everybody else is in agreement.
okay,
Hold on, we have another question.
okay, no
We're
problem.
running out of time though. Malcolm, how much time we got? Discussion's over. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I understand. we put in things in place and then we break them. What's the point? All right.
Okay,
It's up to you.
okay, let's go forward with the original motion since that was voted on in committee and let's see what the board feels that we should do.
We're gonna vote and then want to make another motion. That's more discussion. Then we do it that way. How's that?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Okay, so what are we doing? Are we voting or are we talking more? All right, so go.
Hi, I'm Kadian. Can you hear me? A little louder. I'm Kadian. So I have a question, Naomi. So I just wanted some clarification.
Yes.
Louder? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The question was asked earlier about what does privacy standards training even mean? And from what I heard, it says what should be communicated and what not communicated. Is that correct?
That's
So,
correct. And
and
just
we
and
were-
overall, and overall privacy, just like that you do at your job, like what privacy is when we get the privacy notices from T-Mobile, huge companies like T-Mobile, Apple, things like that, where there have been violations or breaches of information, that we have a policy or a standard in place of what we as community board members should be doing.
And this training is for the community board members. So what's the intention of that to prevent, breach information like what happened with Eddie? Like how would this training have prevented that from happening?
Well, just like any big, huge corporation, you can't always prevent that from happening, but they all have a standard privacy policy, that your information will be handled with a particular amount of care and thought and not be released to the public, as you wish. There will be, we just would have to understand how to, provide, we shouldn't be providing private information if the person feels their information should be private.
Okay.
So can we vote now?
Yes.
Naomi?
Yes.
Call it.
So I'm gonna just go with the
The
original
motion's
motion.
made. We just call for any objections, abstentions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are
Yeah.
there any objections? Any abstentions?
Do you have the agenda? Do you have the agenda? Okay, okay. Do you have the agenda? Okay, so ethics, CI. Motion that Community Board 11 Institute privacy standards train for all of its members.
Hasn't been changed once. It's staying like that. Yeah.
This is how it is. If you like it, you don't.
You don't have, just if you don't like it, you can vote against it if you're fine with it and
Well,
vote for
can
it.
we just vote as it stands? Because we had
Yeah.
plenty of discussion about it, and we can talk further motions, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay? So everybody has the motion, right? Institute training, privacy standards training for all of its members. Go ahead, Naomi.
Yes.
You see all the people, so you can see if there anybody.
Anybody
no,
abstain? Anybody abstain? Let's move forward. Anybody abstain? Okay,
I
one
have 3
person.
abstentions, 4 abstentions here. So 5, 6, 7,
Okay.
8. No, these are abstentions she's calling for first. You should do objections first, but it's kind of close, right?
Yeah. Any objections?
Oh, no. Hold on. I need names.
Yes.
So if you're abstaining, I need your hand again. I'll call your name. Trado, Harry, Cynthia, Mary. This is abstentions. Juan, Kadian, Rabbi, and Debbie. And we got somebody online, Ken Galnick. Right? Ken, you have your hand up? Yes. Okay. So that's abstentions. I don't know
Any
how many that was.
objections? Any
Objections.
objections?
I see 2 objections here in person. That's Sandy and Joanne. Does anybody know how many? And then Bernadette.
Okay.
I don't know how close that is. How many members do we have here present, Chris? You know? 22? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. 11. Abstentions and objections count to defeat the motion. Right?
Okay.
So the motion. What?
11.
The easiest thing is just to do a roll call vote. As painful as that is, when it's close like this,
Then it's obvious, then it's
probably defeated, right?
What's
Let- let-
11? Is
well,
it
because
there's
we don't-
22 people in person, and there, how many people are allowed to vote? Is it
If we
people
did, again, if we just do a roll call vote, it's the simplest way, right?
Okay, so go ahead.
All right, Burnett's against.
Yep.
Mr. D'Angelo, is he present still?
Yes.
No, he's here,
He's
I
on
gotta,
mute. He's on mute. Everybody here is on.
hold on. Now you can unmute yourself, Al.
Yes.
You're voting in favor of the motion or against?
Favor.
Okay. All right. Veronica, 4? What? Okay. Malcolm? 4. Edgar? Kadian? Abstaining? Okay. Ryan's not here, Junior's not here. Chun, is Chun here? Yeah, so how's she voting?
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Your camera's not on though, so I don't know if we might have to mark you, unless you have extenuating circumstances.
to vote, you need to put your camera on.
Okay.
There goes Chan Chan. Hey.
Oh, hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I don't have any preferences, but whichever.
Abstaining.
So we can come back to you if you want. How's that?
Yep, abstaining. Yep. Mhm.
All right, Christine, I don't think she's here. Stacy Ann, no, I think Christine said she couldn't. Yeah, no, I understand, but Christine, I think she couldn't come tonight. I think she already told me that, so we can mark her excused. Stacy Ann? For it. Angel? Mary? Abstaining? Averill?
Abstaining.
Rabbi? Ken Galnick was.
Abstain.
Abstain, okay. Wendy? 4? D1? D1. You were for it earlier? Still for it? You're against or abstaining? Deborah? David's not here. Juan? Serena? Phyllis? Naomi? 4. Ed? Susan? Strato? Keith? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm spacing out. Was Juanita in? Rich? Cynthia? Ellie? Is here? No. Joanne? Against, right? Harry? Oral?
Abstain.
Lisa?
Abstain.
Joe's not here, right? Sandy, against? Janice? Dwayne? Jeanette's not here. So I don't know off the top of my head what that is. I think it failed. Well, yep. Yeah, we can come back to it. Yeah, go ahead. Discussion, whatever.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, we're gonna come back to, well, I guess it depends. Can you go to the BP thing you want to announce, Naomi, while I told it to do the tally?
Okay, I'm making a motion,
yeah,
or the
or the
committee
next
has
motion.
made a motion. I'm sorry?
Sorry. If you could just continue while I do the tally, whatever you want to continue with, within
Okay,
reason.
so the next item on my committee, I would like to introduce a motion that Community Board 11 approve of the Ethics Committee newly proposed complaint intake form, and it be posted on the website. Anyone, it doesn't need to be second because it was approved through committee. Does anyone object to the motion?
Is
I
there
do have a discussion question.
Discussion.
Oh, discussion, sorry. I keep forgetting, sorry. Discussion?
I just, yes, so, I read over, I looked at the forms, and I think the actual submission form is, it's actually nicely designed also, so it's nice, but, I had concerns about the cover letter. The cover letter should really be in our Bronx Community Board letterhead, the way we do all our letters and documents, et cetera. I'm sure the information is updated and revised a bit or whatever, so there's new information. But I do feel that the cover letter should stay as we have our standard cover letter. So that is my only objection to it. It's sort of like half and half. I don't object to the form, the actual intake form, but I do object to the cover letter. So I
Okay.
don't know how to actually vote on that.
Have we seen the form or the cover letter?
Edit that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are two things I'd like to say, please. Number one, have we seen the form? Have we seen the cover letter? All right. The other question is, are we going to be voting on every single form, questionnaire, whatever, that we are going to be distributing? Because I think there needs to be some clarification as far as when are we voting on them? When are they just going live? And we need to have the same standard across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you
So
want to address that?
Yeah, so for me, and I'm glad you brought that up. So for me, I'm only asking for the motion on the form. That's the only thing that went through the committee. The cover letter, if that needs to be updated, or like Bernadette says, she doesn't agree with the format or the way it looks, or the information in it, then I think that should be reviewed, I guess through the committee, or reviewed again. But I'm only talking about the form itself. To your second point, I don't know, I don't see anything in the bylaws. I didn't see anything where we need to approve forms or letters or things like that that are provided by the committees, or or the committee's responsibility. I would like some clarity myself from the
I can
board on
answer that,
if
Naomi.
that's something that you want to do. I'm sorry?
I could be wrong, but I think we had a conversation about this, and you don't need to bring it to the board, but I think you wanted to bring everybody's attention that there is a new form. You want them to use this form because I do think you did a good job on it.
Oh, thank you.
You don't,
Yes.
but unless it's something egregious, as far as I know, she does not need approval from the full board, but she wanted to do it this way. I mean, I could be wrong, Naomi, but I think that's the conversation we had maybe a little while ago.
So
Well, I
moving
wanted
This
the
was
best way.
information.
Wait, one sec. I'm sorry, everyone. I wanted the best way to get this information on our website. If this is not the way, then that was not explained to me, but I did want to make sure that everyone knew about the form, and I didn't want to make a decision without everyone knowing about it.
the courtesy.
Yes.
So bottom line, if the committee chair does have something that it wants to bring to the awareness of the full board, I see no reason why having it this way, it's just bringing awareness. If she wants to make sure, if the committee chair wants to have a vote on it to see if there's any other objections or if there's things that could be added to it.
Right.
I think it should be up to the committee chair if they want to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could be done at committee level, like the committee could voice their opinions and then we could first circulate it around to the rest of the board members via email and get any feedback that way, but I don't think it needs to be voted on every single form at the community board level.
No, it doesn't have to be a standard. It's not in the bylaws.
Okay.
So,
Mike. Okay, hold on. So do we want the results? And you want to anybody want to confer? What's it? Okay, what's up to?
Well, let me complete
Yeah, there
this
you go.
motion. Let me complete this motion so that this is done. Any objections to the motion for the CB11 Ethics and Disciplinary Committee form? Just the form.
You mean posting it on the site, right? The form is fine, but
And it will be posted on the website.
let's just, I think this is for information only, that we have a new form, a really nice form from what I'm understanding, that's on the website for us to use. Great, thanks.
Yep. So any objections to that?
Naomi, you don't need a vote.
You don't need a vote.
Yeah,
Just a
so
motion.
as
Yeah.
long as your
So this
committee
is-
agrees to it.
Okay, so the new form will be on the website and that is what we're going to be using going forward. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank
Oh,
you.
nobody's objecting to that. Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the last thing is the borough president's social media policy. I would like that to be also circulated and posted on the website. Do I need to make a motion to do that?
Well, let's talk about offline where exactly we post. I think probably under resource or guidelines or something like that. I think there's a good place for that. But it is on our website currently. If you didn't check it out, I could always bring it up on the screen. Is there anything particular you want? This is from the borough president's office, right, Naomi?
Yes, is there any way you can put it under the ethics form or a part of like that
Yeah,
area?
Is
Or
it
like
all
a resource, That's what that area where
resource.
you have a resources.
Under forms and guidelines. There's a forms and guidelines page.
Perfect.
Yes, perfect. That's what I meant.
I mean, if you want, I can share my screen just so everybody sees where it is, but it's, all right. I don't want to take any more time up, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Hold on. So I got the vote results for the first motion about instituting privacy training for all members. Anybody wants to confer? I got 15 in favor of the motion, 3 against, 13 abstaining. Motion fails.
Okay.
I think the second motion that people were talking about would be if the first one passed. Right? But since the first one didn't pass, are we going further with this discussion or maybe, yeah, so I got a lot of no's here. Maybe we should revisit this in committee.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I'll revisit in committee. And I just have one last thing. I'm sorry. But, will only take one moment. I just wanted to say last night was a very good night. We had someone from Closed Case come and discuss how to remove criminal sanctions against yourself on your record, and it was a very, very good presentation. So I encourage you to visit the CB11 YouTube channel web portal to review the recording, because the person from Closed Case gave a lot of good information. So if you're looking to remove certain charges against your record, I would suggest that you watch the video and also contact the office so that you can receive some information. Also, will be having a series every month for Ethics and Disciplinary Committee, and you can look at the agenda for January and you will see the schedule. So I just wanted to note that. And I'm done with reporting. Thank you.
So Juan, I know that there was discussion about making a second motion for bylaws to be put in, but since the process for bylaws is that it's brought to the committee, and I think it would be more essential if we actually put together what we want as part of the privacy guidelines and then bring it to the board, because in that case, we have to do two different motions. Let's just bring it back to committee and then we'll fix it there.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, great. And I agree with Naomi. The presentation last night was excellent. I really, as she said, urge everybody to go and listen to the video. Okay, next is the bylaws committee.
Quick second, I know there are a few members who said they have to leave soon. So just so we don't lose quorum later on, like, I would like to reduce the discussion time to like 5 minutes. Just so we don't lose quorum. Okay.
That's fine by me. 5 minutes is, yes. Oh, we need a microphone.
Oh, I got
Yes, these two motions passed in committee, so you want me to come, you got it, Veronica? Yeah. But they weren't voted on yet by the full board.
We didn't have the meeting in December.
So you don't need a second, you just want to read the motion, the first motion?
The first motion was to amend Article 4, Section 9, to delete words, appoint all chairs and co-chairs of the committees, because that literally came after we changed the bylaws and we didn't go further. So Ken picked it up and we're just tweaking it. And the other one, a motion to add Article 5, Section 2. He wanted to make that the first election of committee chairs for the coming year shall take place within committee meetings only in June of every year, with nominations first beginning in April of the same year. And by that time, we know some of the.
Wait. Can we vote on the first motion? Right? Can we, or do you want to combine the two? I think you should keep them separate.
All right, we keep it separate. Want to vote on motion?
Yeah.
one? Okay. Any questions, any discussion? It's a no-brainer, actually.
So so you explained it right? So anybody against or abstaining? Anybody online, raise your hand. No? Okay. So we're going to delete those. All right.
Second motion is because this is a new thing about the committees electing their own chairs and not having, well, we don't like the chair, and 2 months later wanting to change it and pick it again. So Kenny suggested this as a way of tweaking it and making it more.
Your mouth, please.
So it's to add Article 5, Section 2, for the first election of committee chairs shall take place within committee meetings only in June of every year, with nominations first beginning in April of the same year. That way, people coming in who are appointed in March and April will really get to know the people before June. Any questions, any comments, et cetera?
Yes, I did take issue with that because that was voted on. Initially, it was discussed at the September, I believe it started back in September, and when it passed, the question was, well, what happens to the chairs now? And Jeremy said, well, moving forward. At that point in time, there wasn't a single objection to the election of chairs and co-chairs beginning immediately. I understand the logic. I just think that it's very restrictive in terms of implementation.
Only really, basically, for the first election.
Microphone, please. You can't hear if your microphone's on the table.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is now because the the rules changed. He wanted to make it, so we wanted to be specific for this year instead of constantly changing. That was it, but.
So there's the committee we just created, City of Yes Committee. If they did this, they'd have to wait to June, right? So
I think it's already the standing committees that were already in place. With the City of Yes, you did what you're supposed to do. It's a non-standing, so.
yeah, I understand, but that's not clarified here. So that should be clarified. Right, because this is going to our bylaws, and once it's in our bylaws, we have to follow it to be, on top of things. So,
I mean, I think I said this before, that that motion, it needs to be
Wait,
tweaked a lot. Just that it's missing a lot of things like removal, challenges, you know, it needs to be reworked. Me overall,
right.
yeah, that's fine. You can
That's
do
it.
that.
Let's
Just with-
table this
yeah,
one.
You can, unless you guys are here, right? You can just withdraw it.
Next time we need-
well, so the members of the committee is Joanne, Sandy, Ken, and Ellie. Ellie's not here, so if all three of you agree to withdraw the motion or come back, revisit it, Ken, are you hearing this whole conversation? You should be able to unmute. Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, I think we should revisit this motion.
Say again?
I think we should revisit this motion because we possibly should
So
put
you agree
a,
to-
Yes, we agree. We'll revisit it.
a whole, it says a whole procedure. There's just like you have for procedure for removing removing the chair or the co-chair or the vice chair of the committee or any of the officers. We could have the same or a similar procedure for committee chairs.
Okay, Ken.
You were really cut up there, but I think you agreed to withdraw or to we'll revisit the motion in committee, right? We'll withdraw it, come back to it. Yes, thumbs up? Because you're really choppy there, Ken. Can you hear me?
I can't hear.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can.
You can. Can I see a thumbs up? Because we can't hear you very well at all.
It said yes to.
Okay. Okay, you guys can hear him fine? Okay, so he's agreeing to withdraw the motion. Okay.
Well, to table it.
Well, I mean, same thing, isn't it, in this case? Otherwise, we have to vote on it.
So we want to make a motion to.
No. You agreed as a committee with the exception of Ellie, you have a majority, you're withdrawing it.
Right.
End of discussion.
Tabling it, fine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else for
We
bylaws?
have it.
Okay. Bernadette?
Okay, for the sake of because of something that we need to discuss, we are changing the agenda. The City of Yes is coming next in line.
They met last night and they voted last night, right?
Yes.
They have motions. So,
That's up to Wendy and Ed.
let me come over to her.
Thank you, CB11, and the executive committee for creating this ad hoc committee. We did have our meeting last night, our second meeting last night, and we did discuss within that meeting that we would try to have it bi-weekly meetings because there is a lot to discuss. Bi-monthly meetings because there is a lot to discuss. I am going to pass this on to Ed and Rich. Ed will discuss a little bit about what happened last night, and then Rich will bring the motion. Resolution.
Good evening, everybody. Ed Perez here, co-chair City of Yes City of Yes Committee. Last night, like Bob Press said, we had a very constructive meeting. We've been listening to a lot of the community sentiment for the last few months on this. And as harsh as it may sound, we're going to vote down this initiative for economic opportunity in its entirety. I understand that there's 18 proposals. We understand that, there's 4 goals that this has. And on paper, high level, it all looks good. We're talking about making it easier for businesses to find spaces and grow, boost growing industries, enable business-friendly streetscapes, create new opportunities for businesses to open. But, amongst these 4 goals, these 18 proposals, there's primary zoning resolution sections with so many words, so much information, and so much text that it's not clear enough to make a good call on if this is good for the community as is. So, what we're going to do is, or what we're proposing is to vote down this motion today for the sake of more information and more time to talk about the nuances and go back to the Department of City Planning with recommendations that are truly beneficial for our community. And and hopefully other boroughs and other districts can follow suit on this. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Rich.
Thank you, sir. The motion reads as follows. We're going to motion to vote no on the City of Yes for economic opportunity due to additional questions to understand the implications of this initiative. Any discussions? Yeah, any discussions?
Yeah, I
Go
have.
for it.
So, what it's the zoning issues that you're having a problem with? Just trying to interpret what's happening with the zoning, or is it more than that?
It's more than that.
Okay. So it's zoning and what else?
It's a bunch, it's 30 questions we have.
Okay.
Personally, all right, so I'm just gonna say this, right? Change is hard, right? I think that over the course of the last 3 years, the dynamic of the economics within our city has definitely changed, right? You have businesses that used to be vibrant are closing. You have sectors that used to be vibrant that are just not as vibrant anymore. People are adjusting to a changing world. And I really want people to acknowledge that in this case. But with the City of Yes, while I like it personally, it's the practicality of it that matters, right? I think that people need to be able to sit down and figure out, how do these proposals work for me? How will I interact with these proposals in my daily life? And this is a learning curve thing, right? Not a lot of people can see this just by looking at the text. You have to really be able to touch the text and really see, how does this move things around? I really don't want this to just be, as you just said, a straight no, but I see it more as a conditional no, right? We literally have to sit down and envision what we want for our community, what the economics look like for our community, and what works for us here, and how we can also usher in this change safely without it harming, the vibrancy and the culture and the fabric that keeps us together. So, yeah.
Anybody else?
I'd like to just understand more why. But anyway, that's fine.
All right, hold on, Joe. You got it, Cindy? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I think a lot of the objections have to do with businesses being put into residential communities, in low-density residential communities, home businesses. There's a lot has to be tweaked. Some of these things are just very impractical and could harm the community. I agree with you, Malcolm, in that could be, and some things could be harmful, and we have to really look at them. That's really all I have to say.
Thanks for the clarification.
Also.
So hi, Oral, this is Wendy. So part of the reason is the safety issues, right? I mean, what we can see now, but we have to think within 10 to 20 years ahead of us, right? And some of the things that are actually going on within the community affect us now. One would never have imagined that would have taken place. For instance, the cannabis, right? And that fast growing business that has, in front of our eyes.
Right.
So the committee had to take a step back because there's so much to digest. And I don't have a zoning background. I mean, I know a little bit about zoning, but you really have to understand C2s, the Rs. And I want people to understand that. I don't want them to walk away from the table saying yes, and then by the time they get home, you still have questions. If I'm still confused, I can only imagine what the community would be.
Okay,
So
I know
everyone to take
zoning. I know
on-
zoning really well. So
Right,
I mean,
you do, right? But you have 23 and then a whole community that doesn't. And I need everyone to understand that because it's a lot in the text. And, the one administration now does not necessarily mean that the next administration will follow.
We have like a few seconds left in this conversation, about 40 seconds.
okay, I got you. Thank you so much for that explanation. That's cool.
All right, so we just call the vote. All right. Anybody? So generally speaking, Everybody's in favor unless you're against or abstain, or it's close enough that we gotta do roll call. Anyone against our recommended disapproval? No hands here. Any online? I don't see any. Any abstentions? So Malcolm's gonna abstain.
I'm also abstaining.
All right, three board members abstain. Other than that, motion carries. Yes? Oh, yeah, so let's do that. Let's make sure we get Malcolm, Shrado, and Oral. 3 abstentions. Anybody with cause? Since we did. I mean, just in case somebody works for the city or whatever. All right.
Well, I work for the city, but that wouldn't affect me, what you guys are doing now.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Ed's gonna add one thing.
So everybody, as you may see, Robert Press is now a community member of the City of Yes Committee. Although I don't know the exact nuance on how it happened, I'm very happy that he is a member of the committee. And anybody else that is in our community, whether you're here or online, if you're hearing this and you're interested in being part of the committee for the City of Yes as a community member, please email Jeremy, our district manager, and the office staff.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And they could see how we could get you a seat on this board as a community member. Thank you.
Yeah, the person that's able to appoint members to any committee is the chairperson, and everybody has her email or should. So yeah, email the staff who will forward it on.
Who's the chairperson for the City of Yes?
It doesn't matter who's the chairperson of the committee, it's the chairperson of the board who has the power to appoint to a committee.
Gotcha. Understood.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the committee.
Sorry, but I
committee
think
as well.
Orville had a question about the committee, right? Or you wanted to know who the chair was of the committee of Yes?
Yeah, but Jeremy answered it. He
Okay.
said, okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Well, I don't know if Jeremy answered but he understood what I was trying to get to.
Okay, let's move on. The next committee is Community Development and Budget Priorities. Serena?
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Our committee did not meet in December, and so I do not have anything to report.
When are you meeting?
Tomorrow.
We're meeting tomorrow as per the agenda that's on our website. Tomorrow, the 24th, at Community Board's office at 7 o'clock.
We do have minutes for her to publish. The way it's, obviously that's a problem, especially with the agenda, the way the city's doing the website.
Okay, we'll work on the minutes. Okay, next is Education, Culture, and Youth Services. Phyllis?
Yeah, I'll get up.
Thank you, Debbie. Okay, we are having a school supply replenishment event, February 17th at Eastchester Gardens at 12 noon, which was put together by Malcolm. Well, you spearheaded it. And as far as the Youth Leadership Award, as of now, we only have 3 submissions. So please reach out to people, get those submissions in. Thank you.
It's just a reminder, that's a $750 stipend award for anybody who gets the award. And I don't think the Yankees have ever denied us a nominee. Yeah, the deadline that we've set is January 31st. All right, please.
And there's a PDF of the form, et cetera, is online,
It's on our website.
okay?
Yep. Under, I think
Yes.
forms and guidelines.
This is a great opportunity for our youth, and we've always had more than 5 applications submitted, so everybody keep working. I am working on one more, so I'm just letting you know. So January 31st, am I correct, is our final? Okay. Next is Health and Services. Health and Social Services, Sandy?
Yes, now.
The Health and Social Services Committee was canceled or postponed, and the speaker will be coming next month.
Okay. Okay, great. What day?
February,
I'm sorry about that. Are you guys still planning the health fair?
yes, that's why I want to meet.
Okay, you guys don't have a date for that set yet, no?
That's, I will discuss it, and I mentioned it before, June 23rd at Bronx House.
Perfect. All right, cool.
I did mention that.
Okay, thank you.
We keep this here because.
Okay, let's go on to, housing. Rich,
For housing, we held a joint hearing with Ken. It was regarding the city of Yes. It went great. It's online, like Bernadette said earlier. If you could please watch that video. We did a lot of Q&A with Hyun from city planning. And since city of Yes folks are going to keep meeting, we want to vote on this again, and we do want to pass some of this stuff. Might not be all of it, but we really want to tweak it. We want to go back to city planning and let them know that we want to tailor it to community board to our district. So please watch that video. And if you have any questions regarding the city of Yes, do not hesitate and reach out to us. That's all.
okay. Great, next committee is Parks and Recreation. Janice? Sorry, Lance was, go ahead. Does he have a?
With the land use or?
Yeah, you might want to cut your video just so when you speak, Ken, so it doesn't cut out. That might be part of the problem.
What?
Cut your video. That might help your audio, just for now. Because we can't, it's really choppy sometimes. No, you muted yourself. If you could just cut your video, stop your video. I mean, you could try it. You could try speaking, but you might be better off cutting your video just for when you talk.
Ken, you want to give a shot talking?
We're just gonna have a meeting with, joint meeting with transportation in February.
Yeah, so there's a joint meeting. This is a Europe application for the Metro North stations. We have 2 stations in our district. The Europe application is for both stations. So that's February, what does it say?
What is it?
It's the first Monday of the month with transportation, February. And then in March, we'll have a public hearing. So the questions and whatever should be started February. And by the time of the public hearing, there should hopefully be no real questions. I can explain that if I have to, but let's move on if necessary, please.
Yes, okay. Okay, our next committee is Parks and Recreation. Sorry about that, Janice.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. And we didn't meet because of the death of our Parks Committee, our Parks contact passed. And whatever we were putting forth, we couldn't do. So what we're going to have to do now is contact his replacement. So we'll meet next month in February on the 8th, okay?
I have his replacement, so I will connect with you after to give it to you. You're welcome.
Okay, next committee is Public Safety.
We didn't meet in January, but in March, we will be having a joint meeting with Transportation and DOT finally.
Okay. Anything else? Any other questions for? No? Okay, next committee is Sanitation and Environmental Protection.
April's
Hi,
online.
this is Avril Francis. Chair, we didn't have a meeting in December.
You speak up, April?
I am speaking so loud.
You have an echo.
Yes, I can hear.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yes, we did had a meeting. So I don't have an update for the next meeting, so I'll be able to bring you some more information. I'm hearing a feedback.
Yeah, I mean, we did have a leadership committee meeting. That's where we set the agenda. I think we left you where we normally have you, which I think is first week or something like that, but you know, we can talk after the meeting about that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, April. Our next committee is Transportation. Rabbi Fuchs?
Thank you. Happy New Year to everybody. So everybody said transportation is meeting with land use in February, then with public safety in March. And the only question I have is for the February meeting, I brought up that the MTA should show up too. And I brought it up at our committee meeting. And does anybody have an answer to that? Because I think having that meeting on February 5th without MTA is not a good idea. Thank you.
So I did bring that to their attention. They're going to talk to the MTA, but it is city planning who's bringing this application. So technically they don't need, but I explained your concern about finger pointing. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Our next committee is Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Good evening. I don't think we met in December, but we did have two board members, one former board member, who attended the equity event with the mayor's office. We are still in the planning stages for February, Black History Month, to do a nice little outing to Allerton Coops. I'll keep you posted on that. We're still looking into the diversity training. Jeremy's helped us get some contacts. Serena's helped us with some contacts, so that is still in process. And our meeting for February topic is still to be determined. Thank you.
Okay, our next committee is Social Media. Okay.
I don't know why we had that in the agenda. That might just have been a holdover.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you-
we're onto the
So electeds.
for the elected officials. The representative from the Borough President's Office, Kenny Augusto. You have a choice.
Got you. Yeah, I pointed to my mom. On behalf of the Bronx Borough President, we wish everyone a happy new year, happy Three Kings Epiphany, happy Dr. King Day. Last week, we had a coat drive held at Borough Hall. 500 children were given new coats. A number of the houseless, of the homeless were also given coats. This Saturday, we had our first town hall meeting at River Park Towers at Roberto Clemente State Park. Tomorrow, the Bronx Borough President, in conjunction with DIFTA, Department of Aging, will be hosting Living Will Trust Power of Attorney information session on end-of-life issues. You know, so many times we have relatives that die and no wills are made, things are not being able to put into probate. So there's gonna be at the Borough Hall, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Rotunda. On Saturday, January the 27th, 2024, we're gonna be having safety fire education with FDNY as well as the Red Cross. It's gonna be at the Bronx Zoo, Schiff Hall, 2300 Southern Boulevard. Free admission to the park afterwards. The Bronx LGBTQIA Task Force is gonna be having an inclusive Love is Love is Love Valentine's Day dance out Bronx Mixer, open to everyone. It's gonna be at Suyo Gastro Fusion, 1401 Plaza Drive in the Bronx. wear red and black, grand prizes for the best red and black ensemble, dance, dance, dance. Also, we have on February the 15th, we have a career fair. It's going to be on Thursday, February 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Bronxborough Hall in the Rotunda. Also, this year marks the second anniversary of the fire in the Bronx where 17 souls were lost. So we're stressing that we're going to be having these fire safety sessions throughout senior centers, NYCHA, all the buildings and different organizations. So we urge you to come and partake. And that's my report. Thank you very much.
Okay. Do we have any representative from Councilmember Marmorato's office? Okay, so do we have a representative from Councilmember Felice's office?
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Director of Community Engagement for Councilmember Felice. Our office is located at 573 East Fordham Road on the Hoffman entrance. And our phone number is 718-842-8100. For those online, I have placed my information down below, but everyone is welcome to contact our office for any inquiries if you're within our district lines. And as to updates, we are currently with an immigration attorney on Tuesdays through CUNY Citizenship Now. So please contact our office and we will help you to refer you to our attorney. And finally, another update is that we are providing tax services in the upcoming weeks. So I'll keep updating everybody on that end, and please contact our office if you have any questions, concerns on housing or any issues of that sort. Thank you. Thank you.
Information.
I'm sorry, one more thing also, that the applications for membership for community board is live, English and Espanol. You could link up, and I believe it's going to be on also the CB website. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, I'll just go on down the line. Is there any reps from Councilmember O'Reilly's office here? Okay.
Yes.
She's on it.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Kevon Bold from Councilmember Riley's office. First off, I just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, happy holidays, everything. It's good to be back again in front of you guys for the new year. Looking forward to many of these sessions. Just a few quick updates. For next month, February 21st, at the Botanical Garden, we will be having a Black History Month dinner. And that would be February 21st from 9 to 12 o'clock. Also, February 28th, we will also be having a senior luncheon at the Bay Plaza Mall on the 3rd floor by the food court. That will be from 12 to 3. And we are also doing tax prep, so you can reach out to our office for free tax prep. And we will help you guys schedule your appointments to come in and get your taxes done. And that'll be all for announcements for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any representatives from the Mayor's office, Comptroller's office, Public Advocate, Bronx District Attorney, Representative Ocasio-Cortez office, and I think we do have representative from Richie Torres's office online. Joe McManus?
Unmute.
Okay, there we go. I got it. I guess we're gonna have an echo. I put all my contact information in the chat, and I just wanted to let you know we are available for federal issues like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and we have walk-ins if you're welcome. And the address of the office is 540 East Fordham Road on the 2nd floor. I have 2 items. Working with our office, Fordham University was given a grant by the EPA for $50 million from the Inflation Reduction Act. Fordham University will be serving as the conduit for the organizations for environmental justice in our EPA area. The other item is Congressman Torres announced $150 million in funding for the Cross Bronx. He announced that with Senator Schumer and Gillibrand, and the money is for upgrading the roadway, dedicated bus lanes, and pathways for bicyclists. Thank you, and that's the end of my report.
All right, thank you. A representative from State Senator Fernandez's office? No?
You might have removed yourself by accident. All right.
Okay. Anyone from State Senator Bailey's office? State Senator Rivera?
I don't think we have anybody else.
Assembly?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine Torreblanca. I'm a Community Affairs Liaison for the Office of State Senator Gustavo Rivera. I'll be really quick. For this week, we have satellite hours at Rain Boston Road, located at 2424 Boston Road. That's January 25th from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. You don't need to make any appointment, just show up if you need assistance. If you do want to visit our office, if you have any questions, please call 718-933-2034. Our office hours are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We do have our HRA Benefit Enrollment Day on Thursday, February 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You do need to make an appointment for that. Also for the HRA Fair Fares Enrollment event we have on Thursday, February 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, that should be it for in-person elected officials, right? Good. Thank you, Janice.
Okay, so is there any other assembly members at Kara's office? Easties? What?
Okay. Do you want it? Is it? Okay.
Okay, unfortunately, the representative for Assemblymember Sakaro's office had to hop off the meeting, but they did leave a message in the chat. Assemblymember, let's see what they said. They had said, "We have a lot of exciting events taking place in 2024. In the next few months, they will be hosting a free tax prep service by appointment only. They want you to stay tuned to their social media channels for more information or contact the Assemblymember's office. Additionally, they will be hosting food giveaways, and starting in February, they will be having free shredding events, which will also begin in April."
All right, thank you. Is there anything else from any of the other Assemblymember Heastie, Assemblymember Benedetto, or Assemblymember Reyes offices? Anything in the chat that we need to give out to the public and the board? No?
No.
Okay. I hear something.
No, she said no.
What?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we do have some old business that we do need to bring to light here. Veronica?
Mel, would you mind taking that to 7-Eleven lighting?
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that. Still online. Should I explain the whole thing or should I just let them talk?
No, explain to them what happened.
Okay, got you. Oh yeah, all right. So after our meeting, I believe it was last week, when we voted down the cannabis dispensary license for 7-Eleven Leidig Avenue, we received an email from the applicant. Pretty much they were not happy that we voted it down because at first we voted it up, and then we brought it back and voted it down. And they voted it down based on some of the information that was distributed during that meeting by a member of the public. They were not happy that we didn't afford them a chance to come in and to explain or to even refute what was stated. We just went right ahead and just did, the vote. So I believe they are online right now. So Adam, just give you a chance to speak on this issue. Adam?
Hello? Yeah,
Hello?
hello?
Yes.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, Adam.
Hi, how you doing, guys?
We're gonna time him like we would the gallery, right? We
Right.
decided we're gonna treat it like the gallery. The only people that need their camera on are the board members legally. Yes, if you can turn your camera on, that would be great, but he's not legally required to.
All right, so Adam, what we're going to do, we're going to give you 2 minutes to speak, which would be the time that we allot our gallery speakers to speak, just so you could just, state your case.
How you doing, guys? My name is Adam. I'm here to speak for 7-Eleven lighting. Fortunately, they weren't able to. We want to thank you for reconsidering. We are trying to open a small business and do what's right by the community. We've been attending the meetings over and over, and I think it's about 5 times that we have attended. We have addressed all concerns. We've sent in letters. Every concern that has been given to us through the committee, we have addressed it. We have spoken about it. We have provided documents that they're asking for. It was really upsetting that over one person's allegation, we get our motion withdrawn from the community board at the last meeting. It's really sad that we went through the first committee meeting and we passed through it, and the second one as well. They invited us again for more documents to provide, and we provided all the documents necessary. And at the last minute, while we're waiting for the community board, and then there was the first one was in December and it got canceled. And so they held the emergency community board meeting. And during that day, we were briefly discussed, and out of nowhere, it's just the motion got withdrawn. So I find it unfair that we were treated this way. We weren't even a part of the agenda for the community to speak about it, or for the board to speak about it. It was just randomly chosen, all because of one person's allegations. Again, we're asking to please reconsider and see what's. Please don't hurt small businesses. We're trying to make a business work. Please don't hurt it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I think one thing that should be clarified, I don't know if it was clear enough. Malcolm was talking about the special full board meeting we had earlier this month. This is where this was actually voted on. This is the special meeting we had earlier this month to handle the more timely Economic Development Committee motions that were not passed or approved in December.
It's an emergency. It was called an emergency meeting because we needed to have a vote of the full board just for that specific issue. It wasn't a regular full board meeting. It was just for a specific issue that was time sensitive for the full board meeting. That was just the nature.
If there's any other questions or concerns, I also have a friend of mine, Yahi. He is also online. If you guys can address any questions to me or to him.
Sir, hello, can you please wait? Christine, you have your hand up? Christine?
I'm sorry, that feedback is crazy. So I have a question for Adam, and Adam, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. So my question to you is, you have heard the allegations by this, member of the public. Do you want to address those allegations and clarify those for us? You have heard them, right?
Yeah, I've heard all the allegations. It's the same allegations that we've had since the first meeting. So we have expressed that we have nothing to do with the business itself. We have no affiliation with that business whatsoever. This person is going online doing Google searches and doing whatever they're doing. I have no idea what they're doing. They're finding information from online and posting them and sending it to you guys. We have sent in LOIs. We have gotten letters from the landlords speaking that we are trying to purchase out the business, not take over that business and continue doing whatever they're doing. We're here to change it from a bad business into a legal dispensary, legal entity. We're not here to harm the community. We're here to in support with the community, not to hurt it or go against it. We have met multiple times in office at the committee meetings. They've asked the same questions they have asked us multiple times, and we have answered all of them at every meeting. We have attended, we've spoken, and yet, again, those same allegations were brought again at the last meeting, and sadly, the motion was withdrawn.
So Adam, just to be clear,
We lost
you deny that you are the same people as 7-Eleven.
Yes, we are not the same people. We are 4 different partners that are trying to buy out the business. We have provided legal documents provided to members of the committee stating the purchase price, stating information that was brought from the landlord, that the landlord has knowledge that we are trying to take over this business, and if we get this license.
Okay. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
This is for the board. Are we bringing this back to committee, to economic development? Just that's a question.
So,
Like, where does it stand?
so basically.
No, I know. I didn't think we were gonna vote anyway.
No, so just so you know, the letter was already sent for no objection to OCM.
Okay.
But
That's for new business.
it was sent just to be put in the record, because we had already missed our deadline to do that. If it's at the pleasure of the board to revisit this and look into it again, then that could be done and we can send another letter, but that's up to the board.
So we already sent a letter of no objection.
No, sorry, we sent the letter of objection.
Of objection.
Please, sorry about that. We sent the letter of objection based on, so originally we had voted on no objection.
Yeah.
Then information came back and it was brought to us again from a member of the public. It was then voted down and a motion to send a letter of objection was passed. But they weren't there at the time to be able to speak again about the allegations. They weren't aware that it was going to be brought up again, so they weren't asked to come in. So they find it that our procedure for what we did for them is not in line with the procedure that we do for other people, and they feel that they were treated unfairly. They weren't treated equally as other applicants have been treated.
So I mean, I think it behooves economic development to decide what they want to do next, right?
Yeah, sure. So hold on, just so everybody knows, because we don't have quorum, we're not gonna be voting on anything else, all right? So the meeting officially ended, what time is it now? No, we'll allow, I know certain people want to speak, like Angel.
Can you send a letter to see if it's the new owner is actually affiliated with the own owner, the OCM? Just to do like an investigation?
The OCM does their own investigation on it. The reason why it was brought up is because member of the public did their own research and they claim that there's similar names for the people that own that work at 719, I believe it's the number. We can ask them to look into it, but the letter that we sent to the OCM, the letter of objection, asked them to look into it. And I forget the exact wording, but it was basically at the request of looking for them to look into it further, or concerns that we may have had. So I don't think that it's in good not good conscience, but it would reflect create on the board if we start throwing out allegations out there that we ourselves can't substantiate. So I didn't put, and the committee had agreed not to put those allegations in the letter, but we did ask them to look into it further.
Okay, thank you. That's what.
Yeah, hold on. Wendy and then Christine has her hand up, but we're gonna call the meeting officially end at 9:25.
I just have one question for Adam. What is it about this particular address? Because normally if you get pushback like this, you would move on. What is it about this location or this address that's making you kind of push the envelope?
It's first of all, there's already an agreement in place that we have been doing since September, that we have been in communication with the owners, the current owners, and the landlord. So there's already an LOI, letter of intent letter. That's what it stands for. We have applied that license for that particular location. It cannot be changed later on since the application already went through. So that location is the location that we're aiming for and we want to take over. So yeah, that's about it. Unfortunately, it can be changed. Application is per one, either location. It's based on the location. It's not based on wherever I want. So there were communication prior to the application.
I'm sorry, Adam. Yes, it can be changed. There are times deals don't work out for a location.
I'm sorry?
And it can be changed.
All right, thank you, Adam. So,
Your question? Christine, I know you have your hand up.
Yeah, I was just curious because I thought I heard it. I don't know if it's the, on my end, but I thought I heard Adam refer to Yahe also being online. What is his connection to all of this? Did I hear that correctly?
Yahe, would you like to speak on this issue? You might be muted, Yahe, if you're speaking.
He just unmuted, but
Yes.
I don't hear anything.
Yes.
One second. Yahe, if you do get a chance, if you do want to speak, just chime in. We're going to move on.
Yeah, this question is for Adam. As I recall, the meeting that was held, the property owner claimed that he did not issue a lease. Okay, disregard.
No, that happens to be a different applicant.
That's
That's
Purple
not
Cake.
the applicant. So that's a different one.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Chris.
Just three things. First one, Adam, you got to understand that we are an advisory board and OCM might decide they might approve you. Secondly, let's not make a precedent of changing our motions, because if it happens that for every one of them, you have to go back into it. And thirdly, I want to emphasize again, because I've said in many occasions, guys, when you pass a motion, don't pass it with condition of people providing documentation, because look what happened. This gentleman saying, I provided whatever you guys requested. And that's why that motion that you pass based on whatever they can provide, it's not good. Because all the documentation that you guys requested, he provided it. You have to make it more clearly that based on the documentation that you provide and all the information we're going to gather, then we'll pass a motion. That's a different story.
Right. No, we understand that, Chris. The problem with this application is that the first vote was a vote of no objection. And then it was changed again. And the applicant wasn't allowed or wasn't advised that it was going to go up again for a vote. So they weren't able to be present. So now, I guess it'll go back to committee, I guess. Where's Malcolm? I lost him. Hi. I guess it'll go back to committee and we can discuss it in committee. I don't know whether or not we're going to do a new motion or not. I would like as many people as can join us online or in person at the Economic Development from the board to be present so we can discuss this, because I'd like to put an end to this and, make sure that it's done in a way that is proper.
Yahe is here. Yahe is here.
I forgot what the date is, but I'll let you know.
Veronica, can you hear me?
Hi, Yahe, go ahead.
Hey, I had to sign off and sign back on. I heard Christina's question. I'm here on behalf of AYAB, the Alliance of Yemeni American Businesses. The business did reach out to me to ask for assistance with this. And I went in and I reviewed the first meeting that took place in November at the committee level, and it showed that it passed. It passed again in committee in December, so it passed 2 committees. I know it went back to the committee in November's full board meeting because there were some concerns. Again, the concerns were addressed in the December committee meeting. It was supposed to go to the full board. Full board was canceled. The expectation that it was going to pass, since it passed the committee twice. I know there were allegations from a specific member of the public, but again, if these allegations, if you can't substantiate these allegations, what grounds is there to object? And meanwhile, when I heard the committee meeting, I heard the meeting 3 different times just to make sure I heard something correctly. The committee meeting that took place in January, right before the emergency meeting, members of the community board were not objecting to it. What they were saying was questioning even the board's, are they overreaching by trying to look for things that the board shouldn't be looking for, that OCM should be looking for? Sometimes we look for egress where the community board looks for egress when maybe they shouldn't look for egress. That's DOB issue, or they look for fire safety related stuff when it's FDNY's job to do so. So I did get involved, I did review it, and I agree with the business that it was completely unfair that it passes 2 committee meetings just to be shot down because one member of the public that's been known to be Islamophobic, to be against the Yemeni community, has showed that and displayed it amongst the community board numerous times on numerous different occasions. I know I don't want to take a lot of your time, but I can name each single occasion where this community member has been against either the Yemeni community, the Arab community, or the Muslim community. And there is a trend there, and there is a history there that we don't need to repeat here. So I think it's only fair, even though the letter of objection has been sent, that something on the record that shows that there is no objection, and I hope the board does reconsider. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. And I think, are we ready to adjourn?
Yeah, I think that's it. Again, if people from,
Oh, Angel, say it. Go ahead, say it.
well, again, I'll ask board members to please come to the economic development meeting next month so we can discuss this and get a final resolution to this. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
All right. Hey, thank you, everyone, for coming. Meeting is adjourned.